All right, welcome everybody. Hey, start up in a month 2, day 13. Let's see, where are my notes? Here's what I was posting. Should probably save that, but now it's too late. Here are my notes. Okay, cool. Um, yeah, so anyway, welcome. Is my chat still there? No. Restream chat, here we go. Let's get that over here, get this started, get this down here and out of the way so I can see my messages if they come up. All right, cool. And of course, it's not always on top. Great. All right. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. For those keeping track at home, we are in month 2, week 5, which is a little bit funny since the month of February only has 4 weeks in it. But yeah. Anyway, we're not quite done with the app yet. We've been working at best possible speed, and yeah, if I was limiting myself to a month this time around, I genuinely, truly think I would not have finished. Yeah, we got sound. Okay, cool. So yeah, anyway, we are working a little bit into March. I've decided to give myself an extra 2 weeks into March to actually finish this thing. Um, that's just due to the simple fact that I'm still kind of like getting my feet under myself in terms of doing this project period, like building a startup product and finishing the whole thing and releasing it in a month. I've only done this twice now, so kind of getting better at it, figuring out where the boundaries lie and how to best go about it. Cliff, good afternoon. Good to see you again, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're just in time. So yeah. Anyway, I was mentioning that taking a little bit of extra time this month just to like finish some things since in January I was working on the Plotters game, which ended up being way too much for me to like bite off and like actually finish within the scope of a month. So back then I thought it would be important to kind of stay focused on like the rules of my game essentially. Because if I had like a rule book for how I'm going to like actually do this thing, and if I adhere to it, then that's going to give me a greater chance of success. Because it'll keep me focused on the things that are like really critical to build in a given app or something. So yeah, that was the idea last time, but this time around I'm kind of in the same position where I've got like 3/4 of an app, but nothing I could really like charge money for just yet. So anyway, just gonna give myself another extra couple of weeks to finish this thing, and yeah, I think the benefits of like actually finishing something are gonna be much bigger than the benefits of sticking to the rules of my self-imposed game. So yeah, anyway, that's what we're doing. And the mantra is going to be slow, steady progress. Yeah, yeah, just do something, get something done, just start, just go, just do the next thing in front of you. You don't have to eat the whole pie. I think that's another way I formulated the idea before. You've got a pie with like 16 slices, and if you have to like think about eating the whole pie, then that's a really super stressful thing, and probably impossible. But if you focus on just like eating one slice at a time, then eventually you finish the pie, and you probably feel better doing it. By the same token, because you're not like focused on this huge goal, you're just focused on like the very next thing in front of you. So anyway, gotta try to keep my eyes pointed on the very next thing in front of me for the next 2 weeks, and yeah, feeling pretty good about actually finishing this thing. So anyway, today we're going to start with the coding warm-up, and then we're going to continue with the Pic Story UI build-out. So this is pretty cool because we're getting into like the whole reason I'm like building this app in the first place. Because if you recall, I wonder if I still have this. Yes, I do. Okay. If you recall, the whole reason we are actually building this thing is because the thing we are emulating and trying to improve is broken right now. Example album. Okay, so the link is broken. All right. So anyway, the thing we're trying to emulate and improve upon is like very limiting in terms of like what you can do with it. You got text, and you can pick to add a text block, you can choose what text to add. You can choose where it comes in the layout, but like that's it, right? So anyway, the whole idea was to enable the customization to your heart's desire of the things you're actually putting together with this app. So yeah, I'm really excited to start getting into that. So anyway, after the 30-minute coding warm-up, we're going to get into the UI, and that is going to be that. So anyway, let's get into the warm-up, shall we? Hope you've been good, Cliff. I hope your weekend went well. Anyway, this is a challenge called Filter Indexed, which is kind of a funny thing since JavaScript has like a kind of a version of this built in. So yeah, this is like something that you just kind of take for granted in a map or a reduce or a filter in JavaScript, but something that is not built in automatically into Clojure. So Clojure already has a function called filter. You pass the predicate and calls the predicate on each element, but what it doesn't have is a function called filter index that calls a predicate on the indices of the sequence to decide what to keep. So this is essentially like something where you know, it's going to look at your inputs, and then in this exact example, it's going to say filter index. If the index is even, then you get the 0 index, which is A, 0 is even. C is index 2, index 4, index 6, so on and so forth. Thanks for asking. Very good weekend. Started building my standing desk. Oh, great. Did you get the, like the hardware that I mentioned? Or are you going with like something else? I think you mentioned you might want to use like the feet that I've got, but like build your own desk. If so, that's very cool. I think you'll enjoy it. But even if not, I'm sure you've got something that's gonna work well for you. So yeah, I wish you luck on your project. Okay, so that's how that works. Filter index prime will remove things that are not prime and whatever you pass to it. So yeah, exactly. Cool. Nice. Yeah, this thing's been working out for me. I've had it since August, September. I think it was September, but anyway, be kind of ridiculous for such an expensive thing to crap out after only a few months. But yeah, no complaints about it so far. It's been really nice, so I think you'll enjoy it. At any rate, yeah, this is kind of something I want. It's also something I think I can use in just my coding life in general, like even like building out things. So I'm going to reinterpret this a little bit. We're going to make filter indexed and not filter index. And that is so you know, we can like have access to the index and the element at the same time. Kind of like map indexed, if you're familiar with that. From Clojure. I hope this function doesn't already exist. Filter indexed. It does not. We got a sad rich. I love that picture. Yeah, so we've got a map indexed, which has like an index and an item, so it'll give you the index of the thing and also the item in the array or string or map or whatever that you're iterating over, but we don't have a filtered indexed. So I'm going to kind of loosely interpret this, build my filter indexed function. Well, I guess I don't even need to copy this, right? So yeah, that's what we're going to do. So let's get to it. 21 challenge. There's our challenge from last time. We're just going to kind of close that. Maybe we'll get back into it, I don't know. But that was really tough. Okay, filter indexed. Okay, here we go. So let's copy this in. Filter indexed. Let's get word wrap. Calls the predicates. Filter indexed. That calls a predicate function with both the element and its index, something like that. Great. Says examples don't count. Filter index even. Yeah, don't think these examples count. Yeah, maybe we can come up with some examples at a later time, but at any rate, we'll just hop to it. All right, so let's start Canva. Oops, this is not a fig wheel project. Dep's Eden, here we go. All right, let's load our namespace. See if we can add 1 and 1. We can indeed. All right, we're ready to start. So put 30 minutes on the clock. Graphic. You cannot see it, but it's there. Sound effect. All right. So my first instinct with this is to start with reduce, which I've used a lot in JavaScript, but I haven't used all that much in Clojure. So this is a good chance to get familiar with that. All right. So reduce will take a function, a collection, and a starting value. Val is supplied or returns the result applying F to the val and then the first item. Okay, cool. So, right, this is kind of an example of how it works. So we're going to take like the first item and the next item, and then this is the reducer, so we'll add them together. And so 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 equals 15. See, some of these are super intense. But yeah, we also have a function called conj, which is like, you take one vector or an array by any other name, and you can choose like items to add to it. So you can think of conj as kind of like a functional push. So we're starting with this vector and taking that item and adding into it. So the first time this runs, we'll get 1, 2, 3, 4. Second time this runs, we'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then by the end of it, you end up with one vector, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's basically how it works. And what you often read when you're learning about reduce for the first time is that you can implement a lot of kind of functional helper methods, which might come along just as part of your language. So JavaScript has a reduce, it has a map, and it has a filter, but you can actually implement filter and map using reduce, since reduce is kind of like a more elemental version of those. Like filter and map in a JavaScript context only work on arrays, or only build new arrays. They take an array and they build a new array, but reduce can take an array and build anything. So yeah, that's kind of the idea. So yeah, my idea for filter indexed is to use reduce to implement this indexed functionality. So let's get rid of that, and let's just start with some kind of simple reduce things, since I've never actually used reduce in Clojure. And how about we take that second example, since that's kind of hard to imagine in your mind. So reduce conj 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's run that. All right. It'd be kind of cool if we could print line along the way. So if we do function of 2 arguments, so accumulator and next. That's what those are typically called. If we print line accumulator, and then we say conj acc and next, we'll get the same thing, but then we can see the the accumulator change over time with each iteration. So let's see if I wrote that right. Right, exactly. So we start with 1, 2, 3, that first element in the thing that we're actually iterating over is 4. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can see like step by step how we move through this vector that we're like iterating over, and how we conj onto it like progressively over time. So yeah, my idea, at least to start, is to take whatever the starting value is and kind of like turn it into an object with like 2 things, or a map with 2 things. The first thing in that map is going to be the accumulator itself, which in this example would be like 1, 2, 3 to start. And then I think I want to have like a cur index, which is like 0 to start. So I don't think vectors in Clojure, and I might be wrong about this, I might be able to look this up later, but I don't think these things have some kind of like functionality built into them where you can like determine what the index of a given item is at a given point. So I kind of want to like start this cur index counter at 0 the first time I run any kind of filter index function, and then as I move through the items in the array, we'll increase that by 1, and then eventually we'll get to the end, and you know, if you've got use for that final index, then good for you, but if not, then it just disappears and goes away. So let's see if we can do that. Alright, so I guess the first thing we need is a function called filter indexed, and it will take a predicates, it will take a collection, and for now we'll printline the predicates, it will printline the collection. So if we say like filter indexed even, and 1, 2, 3, we'll get that. All right. And let's just recall how filtered works. So if we say filter even 1, 2, 3, 4, then we should get 2 and 4, I think. Okay, cool. So we get a list, not a vector, but a list back from filter, which is all the stuff that passed the predicate, which I think is actually the opposite way of JavaScript. So this like always confuses me. Like, are you filtering things that pass your predicate, or are you filtering things that like failed your predicate? So in this case, for this language, for this filter function, it means it passes the predicate. Okay. Predicate collection. Okay, so now I need a way to track the index as I iterate, and I need to pass it to that predicate function over and over again. Right. So we'll say let index equals 0 to start. Okay, predicate collection. I keep on coming across opportunities. Cheat sheets. To use def multi, I never really take it, but I think this is actually a really good opportunity. Or maybe what I'm thinking is like multiple function bodies, closure. Mac 172. Hey, welcome to the stream. I've always thought filter should be called retain. Ooh, that's a good name for it. Retain. Multi-arity functions. Learn closure. Yeah, that's honestly not a bad idea. like filter kind of like implies that you're like catching stuff and leaving it out, right? Like your test is intended to like find things which don't belong, but if you're calling it retain, then yeah, that makes a lot more sense because yeah, you're trying to like figure out what you want to keep as opposed to what you want to throw away. So anyway, all kinds of semantic stuff you can do with this. You know, def multi, you're gonna have to wait because I'm under the clock and I can't remember what it is I'm trying to find. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna mark that as like, you know, I have it or index 0. So this should be 0. Learn how to use OR again. Logic. Nope, that's spec. Too many words that have OR in them. Or. There we go. Macros. If you want multiple bodies, you can do it like this. Oh, is that easy? Hey, welcome, QM Stewart. Thanks for showing up, man. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. Def and foo a. Right, this is what I'm trying to do. So I'm saying like the user is going to pass in a predicate and a collection, but the first time I run this function, I'm going to want to pass in an index. So that's exactly what we want. All right. Predicate, collection, and index. So the first version of this function is going to be visible to the consumer, assuming they don't use it in a weird way. It's going to say filter indexed predicates collection and 0. That was even easier to use than I thought. That's really great. Right. Yeah, so let's just make sure that like this works. Predicate collection, print line, index. Okay, so if I say like filter indexed, hello. Great. But if I say hi, hello, 1, we get that. Great. Hi, hello, and 1. You can call it differently. I call it just with 1 argument. And I guess we'll figure out if that's a problem later. All right, so we say, yeah, I guess we just call the predicates with the, we call the predicate with the, I'm always forgetting how to do this. 1, 2, 3, at index 0 should be 1, index 2 should be 2, right. So we call the predicates with the collection at the index, but we also supply the index. Let's see. If you want multiple bodies, you call it with the vector of the arguments in the 2 version instead of the 3 args passed. Call it with a vector of the arguments in the 2 version. Oh, I did, didn't I? It must have been the weekend. I've forgotten how to program in this language. There we go. It's what's really nice about having people in your live stream. So they can help you catch the things that you don't see. Okay. Predicate index, collection index. So this is not really super close to what we want. Index, item. So if we say like defin test pred index item, print line index, print line item. Test pred 0, 1, 2. Hi, hello, how are you? Let's see if this works. Alright, so we can call that the first time. We can get our first index and our first item, which is high, so that's great. Now, let's see. I think we, I think this is the point where we introduce reduce, right? Yeah, I said I wanted to use reduce at the start of this. So we can say like reduce let's go back to the docs real quick. Reduce of the function on the collection. Reduce predicates. Yeah, I guess we have to do partial. So we know the index, we don't know the thing that's coming next. Predicate collection index. Or do we kind of need to invent reduced here at the same time, right? Because, yeah, now I'm calling this function directly with predicate collection and index. I think what I need to do is do some kind of like rest thing with the collection. Yeah, so, maybe we could do like let passes. Let's say that variable is true if the predicate on the index with the collection at that index if that equals, oh no, we've got a built-in function for doing this, true function. So if this is true, calling the predicate on the index and the collection at that index, although I think I've got this backwards. Nope, index come first, right? Okay, so we know if it passes. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Okay, so passes. Print line passes. Alright, we'll just say if the test that we did. Okay, so test predicates, what we're going to test is equals item high. And this should be hopefully true. Yes, okay. Equals item hello. That is false. Alright, so we can figure out if our predicate passes. And now we need to decide what to do if we pass. So if we pass, we include the item in the array that we return, but if not, we reject it and we move on to the next item in the collection. All right. When passes, maybe like a cond. Passes, else, okay. So if it passes, we call this is getting kind of dumb, but we're starting to get into the area of recursion, which is kind of a weak point of mine. Predicate collection index. Or no, I can just can pass the whole collection, just increment the index. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I don't need to keep track of this through the whole recursion. I just keep passing the thing down. That's okay. Okay, if it passes, we want to include it and increment by 1. If it passes, we call filter indexed. We pass it the predicates, pass it the collection, and we increment the index by 1. And if it doesn't pass, we return the rest of the collection, but we also increment the index by 1. Okay. But we also need we need an exit condition. So if the index equals index the count of the collection, we return the collection. If passes is true, I guess we're missing calling the predicates on the end. Let's get to that later. Filter indexed on the predicates. I think rest is what I want. Rest items after the first, right? So we just want to drop that from the collection, rest collection. And I think we've written enough code to get dangerous here. The index equals the count of the collection, return the collection. So we still need to account for calling the predicate on the final part of the collection, but at least we have a exit clause so we don't get into an infinite loop. So let's see if this worked. Equals item hello. So I think we should get back a vector without anything except for the string hello. But we get back an error instead. Okay. A vector cannot be cast to a function. Sure makes sense. But where did the error come from? Ripple at line 21. Predicate index on a collection of the index. Line index, line item. Let's see what we got here. Helpful log statements. Ripple at line 21. Can I just return a value, or does that have to be an expression? Cond. Test expression pairs. Evaluates each test one at a time. Evaluates and returns the value of the corresponding expression. Okay, so that's why we're getting vector can't be an expression. It's because this second thing has to be an expression. I don't think I can do that either, but I'll just try it in case we're crazy. 0 high. Chunked sequence cannot be cast to a function. And we'll just do something dumb. Print line collection. Zero high chunk sequence. Okay, so I think that was not the problem. So let's just get rid of these. Let's try this with a vector of a length of 0 and see if we can just get this thing to like print line a collection. Index out of bounds exception. Can I call a vector as a function? 1, 2, 3. Wrapping things in parens is how you evaluate something. Wrong number of arguments 0 past a closure laying persistent vector. So yeah, I can't call that as a function necessarily. The collection index. Oh yes, you can. Yeah, so in that instance, like 0, 1, 1, 2, 3. If I say like 0 in this instance, that'll give me the item at index 0. So vector plus index is kind of like a way to like access something at a particular index, if you know it already. So in that instance, you can, yes. All right. Else print line. Else statement. Null. Unused binding passes. So what's the problem here? If the index, what is count 1, 2, 3? What are you? That's a length of 3. So this should be actually -1. Yeah, so if we say like def index equals 0, and then def collection, it's just a vector with the number 1 in it, letter number 1. Index, so this should be true. And then just print line the collection. Right. Okay. So I think this line's okay. But why can't we call it test pred? That's definitely loaded in. Hi. Oh. Yeah, maybe it was my off by 1 error that I was having trouble with. Okay. Yeah, maybe that was the problem. Alright. Cool. So this line's cool. Is this line cool? This passes variable is going to be whether the predicate we call on that particular item in the collection returns true. So if we'll say like def predicates is a function that takes a thing, and I'll say equals thing true. Oh, too many arguments to define. Define function. So predicates index, that's 0, collection is a vector that contains one thing called true. So this should be true. Yes? No. Index. Right. And get it's an index and a thing. So is this okay? Yes. All right. That line's cool. That line's cool. Filter indexed. This is just how we call the function. And this must be cool. So, do we fix it? Oh no! We'll keep going just a little bit. Okay, so we got a vector with hi back. Equals item hi. Hello. And maybe like greetings. There's our test predicates. There's our function. Chunk sequence cannot be cast to a function. Yeah, we didn't even get it. Oh, we got it the first time. 0 greetings. Filter indexed. Plus index 1. Yeah, so I think it's the problem we're having here. I think what I'm doing here and what I'm doing here is not quite what I should be doing. Filter indexed on the predicate with the collection. Yeah, because I'm only increasing the index, but the way I'm passing like a rest collection here, I don't think it's going to work. Yeah, I think I've got something in here which is like, yeah, I'm increasing the indexes, but I'm not accounting for the fact that like maybe there's something at the beginning of the collection I want to keep, or that there's, yeah, I don't know. There's something not quite right here. I think I need to meditate it on a little bit. Mac 172, do you want a hint? Yeah, sure, I'll take a hint. Let's see what kind of hint you got for me. Let's see. Reduce key value. Ooh, reduce key value. Reduces an associative collection. Vector of maps. Yeah, so I can definitely see the collection being the key and the index being the value. Apply a function to a vector of maps, such that all values are incremented by 1. It works on sequences. Right. So I think that's to say that reduce KV. How do you use this? Assoc 1, 2, and 3 into a new object. Oh, swap keys and values in a map. That's cool. Result, index, and item. 2, 3, 1, 2, 0, 1. Index. Ah, here we go. Nice, it just works. Reduce key value. Yeah, I think if I did this, but I added in the predicate to determine whether I like conj something into that new vector, that could be a way. Yeah. Yeah, let's check this thing out. 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3. Right, so defin filter indexed. Result index item. So the result is going to be this. Our collection is going to be that. Our predicates. Right, so instead of 1, 2, 3, that's going to be our collection. Def test call 2. It's going to be that. Okay, so when predicates on the item assoc results function res index item. When predicates index an item, assoc res an item. Insufficient input. Maybe I just need conj for now. Predicate in the collection. Yeah, I think that's it. Alter indexed. So we can just use your old test predicate from before, but instead we're going to check if the string equals 1. Filter indexed test call 2 with our test predicates. One, 2, 3, nil. Returns nil. Results, the index and the item. Print line, filter indexed. Still returns nil. You want if not then. You need to return the right. Ah, right. So if that passes, return that. Otherwise, just give me the results. Yeah, that's it. Cool. Nice. Ah, there it is. Yeah, didn't really do anything with the index, but we got it to filter correctly. So if we say like 3, there we go. Get a vector with 3 in it, nothing else. Can we do something with the index? Like equals item 3, like and equals item 3 and equals index. Would that be 2? So if both of those things pass, then we want it. There we go. But if the index is 1, then we don't get anything back. Excellent. So we got 3 because both of those tests passed before, but if we give it the index the 3 does not live at, we get empty collection back. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, thank you, Mac. That's exactly what I needed. Excellent. Reduce KV. Reduce key value. Let's go back to the docs for this. Reduces an associative collection. F should be a function of 3 arguments. Returns the result applying F to inits. Doesn't work with strings. It doesn't work with strings yet. Maybe it does. Hello, Stuart. So we got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If the string is an S and the index is 6, do we get what we want back? No method of protocol something found for a string. So, yeah, I guess not. Reduces an associative collection. first key and the first value in the collection, applying F to that result, and the second key and value, etc. Note that reduced KV support on vectors, where the keys will be the ordinals. Yeah, so I guess you couldn't use that on like a sequence, such as closure envisions a sequence. So a sequence being like a string or a list or a vector or something. You can seek the string. Ah, there we go. So if we did like this, string seek. No protocol called this for the string seek class. Yeah. So anyway, there's a little bit of nuance to using reduced KV. Yeah, it'd be really cool to write the version of this that can actually handle a string. Maybe that'll be tomorrow's challenge, like taking this, which can work on a vector, and getting it to work on a string. I think it already works on a map, doesn't it? Or a vector of maps. Supported on vectors. Yeah, so it'd be really interesting to get this to work on vectors and strings, or maps and strings, things that aren't vectors. So anyway, cool. Well, it took a little bit of extra time on that, but yeah, I was happy to get that done. So very good. Thanks for the help, everybody. Always nice to finish. All right. So let me add that into my notes. All right. Reduce KV function used for solving challenge. All right. Then if we get into and notes. All right. If anyone would like to head to startupamonth.net, pretty soon that post will be up. Just as soon as Jekyll finishes building. We pushed, so I guess it's still building. There we go. So anyway, live stream notes are up here if you'd like to check that out. The challenge and the function we use to solve the challenge will be up here in the link section already. And then as we make our way through the day with actually working on the startup, all checklist items and any other links I think to share in the notes will be up there as well. So anyway, use vec instead of seek. Oh, use vector on the string. Okay, yeah, we'll definitely try that tomorrow. I'll leave that as a hook to get you to show up tomorrow afternoon. Great. So let's let that sit for now. That's a big mess of syntax, but I'm just going to leave it there. And let's get to getting. Start a new code window. Nope. We'll just SSH then. Oh. Connect to host dev. All right, let's get into the day. Building out Pic Story UI customization. All right, open folder, apps, app. I'm pretty sure that's all I'm gonna need today, so I'll just open that one. All right, open workspace. Our nice color-coded VS Code window so we don't get confused jumping around between windows. And I'll open app.local and it'll be running. It will be running. Excellent. Alright, let's check in briefly with where we were. We were on style editing. Right. So, if you recall, we've got these layout blocks. We changed the layout blocks a little bit. So, it used to be the case that we always had the button layer open, which was used for like adding pictures, adding default pictures automatically. So now we've got these two new buttons, toggle content editing, toggle style editing. So if we toggle content editing, we can go into one of these areas in our layout block and either add an image or... The layout's a little messed up, so this will be probably kind of confusing, but just bear with me a little bit. Feel free to announce your streams on the Reddit once in a while. It should give some traffic. I'll make sure the posts make it through the auto filter. Ah, yeah. Are we talking about the closure subreddit, or which one is that? Yeah, I didn't know you're a moderator on Reddit, so that's cool. Yeah, let me know which subreddit to post in, and yeah, I definitely will. Test. Is this thing on? I think that should just be in there by now. Probably easier to see here. Hello, test 1, 2, 3. Alright, so there it is. Great. Art closure, cool. Oh, you are one of the mods, yeah. Yeah, I've been posting like blog posts, which, you know, being the moderator, you've probably seen weekly blog posts. So yeah, no, I'll post a live stream every once in a while. So yeah, people can get leaks in. I appreciate that. Thank you. Definitely don't want to overstay my welcome on any kind of social media platform, since you know, I'm sure you're aware of this as a moderator. There's you know, kind of a fine distinction to be drawn between, like, you know, posting something interesting that people would want to see, and just like, you know, being nakedly self-promotional, which you know, no one's got too much patience for. But yeah, anyway, I'm sure live stream post every once in a while is not gonna rankle too many people. Right, okay. Let me see here, where was I? Right, so we can add pictures, we can add text. So that's what content editing is. And we'll just add more content here. We can add more stuff. Just nonsense. Great. Okay, so we can toggle that UI on and off. And now we've got style editing. So the intention here is to be able to pick one of these areas in our layout block, say edit style, and then yeah, I've got this built out for like text sizing utilities right now. Or at least I have them in a drop-down menu. There's no actual functionality here yet, but the basic idea is going to be to enable our friendly users to use this library called Tailwind CSS. So this is a really text size awesome CSS utility library that I've been building out for just these like prototype like starter products that I'm using. But what it does is it gives you these like really awesome atomic CSS classes to use, where you know, if you want to have like large text, that's got it tied to like the concept of a font size and a line height. So 1.125 rem with a line height of 1.75 rem. So I figure a really good way to add customization ability to these stories, but like you know, something that's like very freeing, something that gives you like a lot of room to experiment and like customize, but also within the like creative constraints of something like a design system or utility library. You know, something that's going to give you like sensible defaults to work with, that'll like give you freedom, but kind of a harmonious freedom. Yeah, I thought Tailwind would be a really nice use case for that, and also a really easy way for me to like kind of build out like customization features, since I don't have to like, you know, rewrite this stuff totally from scratch every single time. But you know, I can kind of just like copy and paste it into Tailwind, and then the user themselves can choose what they want to use within reason. So anyway, that's super exciting, and we should get to getting and see what this actually looks like in practice. So, all right, what I want to do is connect to a running REPL server. All right, I think we're loaded. Nope, gotta connect to the front end build, but now I think we're good. So if I say like add atom blocks, what do I see? Cool. All right, so we're connected to the REPL, we're set up, and we're ready to go. Okay. Style edit UI. I was thinking over the weekend that I'm probably at the point where style editor map right. Style edit UI. So these are the buttons on the templates that actually render the editors. I'm thinking the modal. Text input UI, text sizes, style edit UI. All right. Thinking this should be a separate module. Okay, so it's not quite a page, it's not quite layout blocks. It could be a component. Yeah, we'll call it a component for now. Components. File, call that style edit modal dot closure script, and we'll go from there. Let's copy this in here for now. Require the modal. And let's copy those atoms as well. Open. Style edit UI open will be over here. I also need reagent. And let's see, what else do I need? I also need the list of text sizes. Which will probably in and of itself be its own utility eventually, but not too far, too fast. And these notes, I think I'm probably going to want to have a reference for as well. Okay, cool. Now, go back to my index page and I require this. I refer style edit UI. Style editor map. Let's see if I can comment this out and not get any errors, then I know I'm okay. Content and image. All right, cool, we're all good. So delete all that. Atom style. Edit UI open. Yes, maybe I just want to pass this as a prop now. We can keep the state in the other file, but we'll pass it as a prop to the actual component itself. Alright, style edit UI. Atom style edit UI open. Alright, are we totally broken? I don't think so. Add the image. Add the style. Alright, we're good. Any errors? No errors, warnings. Excellent. Alright. Yeah, so let's see here. What do I want to do with this? I think I want to add some demo text. And I think I want to edit style, and I want to be able to just experiment with like adding text sizing classes to that element. So yeah, let's start there and see how far we get. Going to activate my lasers, so I'll mute the microphone for a second and do my standing. Alright, we're back on, and let's get going on this. Right. So, style editing. Let's see what we have available to us in this modal at the moment. So we got a select with some options in it, and nothing else. So that's a good place to start. Yeah, and I think we want that atom blocks to be available in this component, since that is the thing that is actually keeping track of the state of this whole thing. So for each one of those blocks, we have a block, which is like the window pane. We have the text in a given block, and we have the images in a given block. So yeah, now I think I need a new attribute or key value pair in this map, which is like styles, and these styles are going to be the same thing. So the keys for like column 0, column 1, column 2, column 3, and it'll be the string of Tailwind classes to apply to those actual elements. So how are we going to go about that? I think what we're going to do is go to where that is. We're just going to initialize it with some init values for the time being. Actually, on second thought, let's initialize these with a like a dummy class to start. So we'll start with a class that is just like hard coded in, like TextLG for instance. And then we'll get to the point where we can like actually render that onto the screen, and then once we know we can render it, then we can do the work to actually like hook that up to the select element itself, and actually like toggle it programmatically. Yeah, I'm already realizing that I probably want to have these be like objects in and of themselves. Because what I could do is I could do something like TextXL, flex call, something like that. So when people like select things like in the drop down menus, it'll just like add that class onto a string. What I can also do is have like a map where it was like text XL true, flex call true, something like that. And what that would give me is the ability to search in a map for those values, and then like very specifically like tie them to their select menus in that way. So the process of like selecting something in a drop down is really a matter of like adding a key to this map and saying it's true. Then if you wanted to like toggle it to false, then you just find that key in that map and toggle it to false. So that's one way to go about it. But now I'm thinking that like the process of toggling can really just be like filtering strings out of strings. So like with this select box, for instance, I've got text2XL, textXL, textXS. So these are all options with like values on them. And maybe the process could be like I search for a string, prepended with like text dash 6XL in it. Like say I had this like selected to start, and this like div had like text 6XL on for example. And I decided like I don't really like that, so I want to go with like 5XL. So I guess the first thing I would have to do is I'd have to find this like text 6XL key and change that to false, and then I would have to add a new key, text 5XL, and set that to true. So now I'm wondering, man, it's kind of a tricky thing all of a sudden. Let's just take a sampling of the font style, italic, non-italic. So a lot of these font variant numeric. Yeah, a lot of these classes are like things that you wouldn't be able to combine together, so you couldn't do like leading 7, leading 8, for instance. Like a placeholder color, placeholder gray 200, placeholder gray 100. Yeah, so a lot of these classes you can't like add to themselves. There are some classes in particular which I think might need some special things, like with padding, for instance. Like there's padding classes, then there's like these padding Y classes, and then there's these like padding X classes, for instance. Like padding Y will add padding top and bottom, padding X will add padding left and right. So these are things that you could like theoretically have in combination with each other. So you could have multiple padding classes. You could have multiple margin classes, because that's like got the same concept, I think. Yeah, so like margin Y1, that means margin top and margin bottom both set to 0.25 rem. Same thing with margin X. So I think I need to choose a strategy for how to add and remove these things for like classes where like only one of them can be applied and like only one of them is going to take precedence, and then maybe a strategy for like situations where theoretically you could have like multiple of these applied at the same time. Yeah, it's probably the easiest, right? So that I can treat one set of classes one way and another set of classes a different way. I'm probably going to hit more situations where I've got classes where only one class from this particular category could be applied. Yeah, I can see that being a more common situation than situations where I've got multiple classes from the same category being applied to the same element. Yeah, so let's solve this easier problem first. Let's solve the problem of typography first. That's going to give us our first strategy for like adding and then subsequently adding and removing classes, and then we'll come up with our next strategy after that. Yeah, I think that's okay. Okay, so yeah, we're deciding that we need a way to both add it to the element and then to change it afterwards or remove it entirely. So we could go that route. If we went to the string filtering method, I guess a way to like remove classes would be to like filter a class with like text dash inside the string. So say for instance, like, you know, we wanted to add text SM to this particular part of the grid. So that didn't have any classes on it, so we just add text SM to the string for that area of the grid, and we add it. But say we want to go back to this select menu here and say, select text SM, but I'm going to decide that text LG is a better look. So now we just have to go through that text string, find all the things with like text dash in them, and remove them from that string. So like text SM. We're going to find that, we're going to get it, and then we're going to replace that with like text LG. I think there's enough consistency in the API to do that for most of these classes. So like font style, for instance, italic, well, font light, font normal, font very numeric, letter spacing. Yeah, I think I'm kind of leaning towards this like key value approach, because then if I've got, yeah, let's hit this like second example and see if this makes any more sense. So like 2 is going to have a set of classes on it, and it's going to be like text, what do they call this? Font size. So font size. That's going to be a map in and of itself. Then we're going to say like text XL, true, text SM, false, text LG, false. Just for a simple, minimal example. So, yeah, every time we change this font size select element, we're going to go through and we're going to know the thing that we just selected. So we're going to know that we just selected text 5XL or text L. Yeah, let's say that we know we just selected text XL. We're going to go into that style map. We're going to find the key on that map of font size. We're going to go through that map. Anything that is not text XL, we're going to set that to false. So this one gets set to true. Text SM, text LG, that gets all set to false. And then by the time we want to actually render the string, we just search for everything in that map that's true and render the appropriate class. So I think it's a good way to do it. I think that's the way to do it. Man, it is like snowing like crazy outside. If I had a better camera, which was not totally glued to its tripod, I would turn around and show you, but it's a regular blizzard right now. Which is a little weird, because it was 50 degrees on Sunday. Yeah, wow. Okay, cool. So that's what we're going to do, font size. So let's start for that basis. Let's just preload everything with font size. We need 4, so maybe like text base. Text base true. Okay, so false. Change these to false. Okay. So column 0, text base, column 1, text XL, U are set to false. Column 2, text XM, column 3, text LG. Great. And yeah, what I say, we're just going to get to the point where we can render these. So yeah, let's get to the point where we can render them. 348. All right. Oh, we also need the close icon. Which makes me nervous. So I definitely just wrote code. That is incorrect so far as the app is concerned, but it didn't tell me that I did that. All right. We use it right component, right? You'll be happy to know, Stuart, I still have not finished debugging my hot reloading problems. Okay, so this is still the old one. Style it's UI. Different style. Unresolved symbol, style edit UI. Ah, right. So let's load that into the REPL. Let's refresh. Still not using the right one. Style edit UI. Pic Story components, style edit modal. Refer, style edit UI. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I wrote that right. How do I get it into my browser is the question. I'll come back to that question shortly. I don't know why that's not working. Maybe I'll just have to restart the app. Okay. That's neither here nor there. We'll soon be here. But not yet. Alright. So, right, I need to go to the layout blocks and actually do this. Render content. Right. Text map, image map, row index. Index CLJS. Alright, so template map. Alright. Text map, the image map. Getting to the point, I'm probably just going to want to pass in the whole state. What I call that, style. Yeah. Alright, so down here, not there yet, not there yet. Alright, text map, image map, style map, and the row index. Okay, so right, what we want to do is we want to pass the right class to the part of the template that we're talking about. Render image, render text, render content. Alright, so now we need something called yeah, maybe like a vector of like class strings. So class strings is going to be like get class strings from the style map. Alright. Maybe build class strings. Right. Alright, so build class strings is going to be a new function. We need to define it as a function. Thank you, CLJ Condo. Alright. Yeah, so let's like takes our example state here and just like work with this a little bit in the REPL. Alright. So yeah, let's do something I haven't done for a little while, which is a common block. Alright. Def style map. It's gonna be this. Okay. So it's going to be something like that, and getting a little bit ahead of ourselves here, which I'm a little hesitant to do, but let's just add like one more thing into this so it can be like a little more real in terms of the actual example we're building. So we can say like font size, maybe font weight. What are the font weight classes? Font thin, font extra light. Alright, so let's just start with 2, just to make it kind of easier. Okay, so for font weights, just going to do a little bit of work here. Alright. We're just going to call this false. I'm going to tap to get us out of this formatting mess. But put on one line because that looks a little nicer. All right. All right. These can all have the same font weight. That's fine. Great. So we got font size and font weight. So we want to go through this map, and for each category of utility style, we're going to iterate over that. We're going to take a look at the map it contains, and we're going to find the keys that are true. And for each key that is true, we're going to take that key, we're going to turn it into a string, and that's the string that we're going to render. Okay, I think that's okay. 357. All right. Yeah, you know, it's also a good opportunity to figure out how to use map on an object. Just something I haven't done so much of. I'll just move this inside the comment block while we're developing, and then we can pop it out once we're done. All right. So, style map. Let's go back to our docs. Cheat sheet. Man, I'm super orange, aren't I? Let's see if we can come up with something a little more appealing to look at. Good morning. That's a nice one. That's better. With the overhead off. Overhead on's okay. All right. It's a little less 70s LA smog. Okay, so map. Map V. Oh, map V is interesting. Map. Priority map. Priority map is similar to a sorted map. Yeah, interesting. Ordered map, map by, maps. Sequence in, sequence out. I'll just go to map. All right. Returns a lazy sequence consisting of the result applying F to the set of first items of each collection. All right. Well, sometimes the best thing to do is just head into the REPL and experiment. Map V, map, function, key value, about a string with a key. Value. We're going to iterate over map that says tests. 1, 2, 3, other tests. 4, 5, 6. So what does this give us? This gives us object object plus object object. Perfect. Exactly what I want. Map 2, 2, 3, 3. Key and value. Well, maybe we could try this one from the docs just to get comfortable with it. Closure. I think I've got this. Over here, closure.pprint. Get that into the REPL, and then we're going to say map the function pp over these. Nil. Name closure script.pprint. I'm going to say cljs.pprint. Yeah. Resolve symbol pp. Really? I don't think that's because I'm in the comment block. Nope. Wonder what the problem is here. Undeclared variable stuff going on. Wonder why. If I did something really simple like map string. Does this work? Still get object. Sounds like a JavaScript thing that I'm experiencing. Map over. Map on maps closure scripts. We were using reduce KV before. Is there like a map KV? Nope. Thing and rest. Oh, okay, I wasn't destructuring correctly. So I'm gonna get a vector of key and values as the first thing, and not like a key as the first argument and a value as the second argument. That's right. Okay. All right. So I'll just call that KV for now, and we can move on. All right. So map over the style map. Oh, keys and values. So yeah, next thing is like filtering a map. So straight back, filter, key, we'll call this true, we'll call this false. So function KV, print line KV. So value is going to be the second thing. So KV1 return if the value in those key value pairs is true, we want to return it. So let's see what that gives us. They'll give us a list with both the key, I hit enter a few times. So if we pass a predicate like that, we've got filter. We've got a function which grabs the key value. The key value is going to be that vector with the key and the value in it. And then if we filter on that, we get a vector with the key and true. But really what I want is this, because this is going to be like text base. So yeah, filter, and then I want to like map over those and just grab the first thing and turn it into a string. So I want to say like map function vector vec. So that's also going to take key value. What I'm going to say is string KV0. Alright, so that's going to give me the colon, but really what I want is the opposite of keyword. So this will turn a string into a keyword, this function. Is it like value? Like that? No. Name, that's it. Name. Hello. That should give me the string hello. All right. Great. Yeah, so instead of string, we want name. Text base, font, extra light, true, false thing is false. So I should get text base and font extra light. Cool. Now I call string on that. And I got my class string. Oh, except it's gonna be apply string to the list I get back. Yep, cool. Ah man, this is getting really silly, but partial string and then empty space. And then put the empty space at the start of the string. just do it here, right? So it's going to be like string with an empty, the name of the key with an empty string after it. I didn't break that. We filter things out. We map over that, and we apply the string function to it. Alright. Let's back up just a little bit. Let's get this back to where it works. Oh, because I put it in the wrong. Inside the wrong paren. I'll do you every time. There we go. Alright, cool. So now I got a class string with spaces in between the classes and an extra space at the end, but that doesn't really matter. Alright, great. Now we can say this is a thread. This will be a thread instead of a crazy nested thing. I really like as. As expression name binds name to expression. Okay, as map, we'll just call it $sign for now. Say def map, it's gonna be this guy, as map assigned to the name $sign, we're gonna say filter, it's gonna go on one line because it's a little less crazy. Okay, filter using that function. Next up, map over the stuff that we got from filter. After that, apply string to the results. Great. Right. Test map. There it goes into the REPL. I should scooch this up so my summary isn't blocking this anymore. Okay, cool. And then I think we'll get the exact same thing back. We will. Excellent. However, we have a set of functions which take their data as the last thing, so instead of as, we can just do map last. Or thread last, rather, and get the exact same thing back. Just a few less characters. Alright, great. So we can do that for one of these. Now we need to do that for many of them. Alright. Let's take this down here into our comment block, which we defined and didn't really use, but that's okay. Okay, so this will be map the style map. Alright, style map at 0. Oh, do I not have you in the REPL? Style map at key 0 is these objects. So if we map over that, it's going to be like a function kv and then I think we just grab Let's classes. Probably don't need a let block, do we? We just KV. It's gonna be like KV1 because we want the value of that map, not the key. So KV1. Then run it through that, and I think we got it, right? We don't because the paren isn't in there, but now I think we got it. Text-based, font extra light, text-based, font extra light. Cool, yeah, we got it. But now we need to apply map once more. Okay. For each one of those. Okay, so we need yet another threading macro, or do we? I guess you could just say like apply string to the result of what we get back from that. I think that's okay, right? Yeah. So if we do this, we get exactly what we had before from this example, but the difference is that we've drawn it from multiple maps. Cool. So just for a lark, what if these are both true? We should get font thin, font extra light, and text base. Nope, but we didn't load it into the REPL. But if we do, we'll get that new value. Text base, font thin, font extra light. Perfect. We've got our stuff. Okay. Yeah, so we can do that for a style map at index keyword 0, but we need to do that for each of these. So I think we say define build class strings. And we need to take an argument, which is the index. Yeah, style map at an index. Style map at the index. Cool. Now we can say build class strings index 1 of the style map. We get nil. Why did we get nil? So we wrote that. Not the right place. Call it 1 arg, but expects 2. Oh, right. 1 style map. Nil. Load it in. Text XL, font extra lights. 2, text SM. 3, this should be text LG. And then 0 should still have our special double font style string in it. Great. So now I got that, and yeah, I guess I kind of had in mind to have a vector of class strings in there by index class strings, build class strings from the style map. Yeah, so I could do that. Because I built an API that expects this. But my first thought was just to like pass the whole style map in there, and then I get maybe an object back. So I can do like class strings 0. And then when I'm doing render content, I also do render content 0. So that's kind of appealing from a symmetry perspective. Yeah, so can we do that in a kind of general way? Build class strings from the style map. you know, I think I want to do that the dumb way for now. So I've got an API that works, and you know, I'm probably going to want to refactor this to be a little classier, a little more programmer-ish, a little more hacker man, but yeah, I think for now I'm just going to do this. Super dumb. Super dumb, super easy. Just really inartful, but it's gonna work. Unused binding class strings. Right, so now I guess I probably still want that border on there for now, but yeah, how about we say string. Just wrap this real quick. String class strings 0, 1, 2, and 3. Class string is great. And I think that's everything I need to do. So let's save this. Let's load it into the REPL. Let's go back to the browser. See what we got. Do I have any test stuff in here? I don't think I do. Atom blocks. Oh, I do. Totally do. Yeah, we got that basic version in there, but let's get that more involved one in, shall we? Okay. Thin, extra lights, thin, extra lights. Okay, let's add some text, eh? Let's add some text. Did it work? I don't think it did. Or at least not yet. So, anyway. Didn't work yet. Let's see why it didn't work. Do I need to refresh? Let's just try this with one. Hello, check 1, 2. Still don't work. Let's see here. Border 2, border black. This might be related to my app and REPL problems. Sudo supervisor. Uptime, 2 hours and 15 minutes. Wow, that been going that long? Start app. Alright, the app should be down because we stopped it. Status app. Tail some logs. Now I've restarted. Still have styles though. I wonder why. Connect to a running REPL. Connected to the front end REPL. Atom blocks. What are you right now? No available JS runtime. Still stale outputs. What's going on here? Shadow CLJS. So we upgraded the connection. That's what 101 is. Still not connected. So service nginx reload. Shadow connection error. Anyone else fails, try with a different browser. Wonder if I'll have any luck here. I suspect I won't. Yep, same output, although something that is very interesting to see. Different reds between these two browsers. That is really interesting. Red is not red. Wow, I wonder why. Man, different greens too. Look at the disparity. Wow, that's really dramatic. I wonder what it is about Firefox rendering colors and Chrome rendering colors that makes those two so different. Yeah, Chrome looks washed out. It's so much richer over here. Wow. I have no idea what that is. Is it some kind of overlay? No, anyway. Not important. That's interesting to know, however. So many things you can't really count on in the browser world, up to and including the idea that the color you specify is the color you get on the other side of things. That's pretty wild. Man, what the hell is going on? Stopped nginx. Sudo service start nginx. Reload. App is back. Show CLJS as stale outputs. So sudo system control. Sudo supervisor control, stop the app, status, start the app, tail F on the app. All right. The server sockets is running on the right ports. Ripple is running on the right ports. The app is running on the right port because if it wasn't, I would not be able to access it via the browser. And now the message is gone. Oh, nope, not block element, inspect element. Yep. Error message just confirmed my fears because this is stale output still. Connect to a running REPL server. Shell CLJS. Localhost 9091. Connect to the front end. All right. What is going on? No available JS runtime. Well, this happens. It's often nice just to run the terminal command directly, not through some kind of like supervisor daemon. So maybe the missing dependencies were the problem. Jack in once more. Connect to a running REPL server. Oh. Was that 1992? No, 1991. Watch the front end REPL. Configuring the build. Ah, man. And starting to second guess this containerized build system I got going on. It only seems to have slowed me down. To get into it expressly because I thought it was going to speed me up. Alright. Pic Story component style item mode was not available. It was required by that thing. Okay, so we probably have to fix that before the build can complete. Otherwise we're working with that stale output. Pic Story components style edit modal. Pic Story components style edit modal. Pic Story components style edit modal. Alright. That thing is not available. It was required by another components. Pages index. Build failure. Acquired namespace is not available. I gave it the wrong name. Pic Story layout blocks index. Pic Story components. Style edit. Source path source. So everything in source should be findable by Shadow CLJS. App is running. Let's see if the build works. It's a very dusky, late winter evening. The snow falling and the way it's falling with the color on the sky outside, it kind of looks like Terminator 2 when all the nuclear bombs blow off and everyone's like reduced to ash. It's not a great friendly image, but that's the thing that comes to mind first. Style edits. The required namespace is not available as required by this file. Well, all this fails. You can pull the escape hatch on the smart way. Just do it the dumb way. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Style edit UI. Init app. There's like a section where I had all the modals, wasn't it? Yeah, here it was, text input UI. So if I just put you down here, and I get rid of that as a prop, I think we're back to square one on this. Man, another thing that really turned me on to Clojure script, at least when I was working with Figwheel, was that the high reloading was so insanely fast. Okay, I think I'm back now. But if I'm running it on a Vagrant box with a much smaller amount of memory than I've had before, then yeah, I kind of lose that benefit of the super quick hot reloading too. Which is also not great in terms of facilitating, rapid development. Okay, so now it doesn't know what a function is. Build class strings. Probably because I defined it in the comment block. Oops, okay. So if I take that out, put here, we should be good, right? Yeah. Okay, start the app one more time. Didn't actually need to stop it, but yeah, we'll restart it all the same. Alright, app's running. WebSocket server is running. All we need is the nREPL connection and a successful build, and we are back in business. Configuring build, compiling. Here we go. Test already furs. Here we go. I think we're back. Excellent. We're back with a working REPL. And with all those class strings I defined. Ooh, we are. Let's add some stuff. Custom text. Ooh, look at it. It's there. It's totally happening. Doesn't look like much yet, but it will soon. Excellent. Look at that. Oh. Toggle style editing. Yeah, there we go. So it's super subtle, but you can see this text is bigger than that. This one has thinner font weight. This one and this one are different sizes. So yeah, we can apply a style from state. Now all we need to do is actually like hook up the state to apply the style. So that's great. Yeah, let's mark that down in our notes. Checklist. Render custom classes from state. Just because it still doesn't like emojis. Done. Great. Static app state. Great. So we got that done. And now what we need to do is hook up app UI to state to toggle classes for real. Custom classes for real. All right. Excellent. Yeah, so let's move on to that. Yeah, so it's 4:45 p.m. EST. I may finish this. Kind of want to. Yeah, I think we're pretty close to like actually getting this done. So yeah, let's just keep going, huh? Okay, so close that terminal for now. I'll get back to the question of states. States. Alright, so we got atom blocks, and we've got this modal. Style edit UI modal. We've got some notes on accessibility, which we will implement soon, I swear. Yeah, we need a function for this select element now. So, what do we do with that? I think we've got a concept of like a selected, like toggle style editing. Like when you click this button, it'll set some value in state with the block and the row and the column you're editing. So, go to edit style, which of course is over here. Alright, window pane style editor. Alright, unclick. So that sets the style edit UI open and does not do anything else. Alright. So here is where we start. So this will only open and close the style editor, but we don't know which one we clicked on, so we need to set that next. Selected row call. Yeah, so we could repurpose that one for sure. Where does this get set? This gets set. You are adding text. Selected row call. Yeah, so if we just pass that, we can repurpose that one. Yeah, okay. Unclick row index 0 and 1. Style editor. Oh, are you already doing this? Yeah, if I click edit style, that should be 0, 1 right now. So if I go back to here, reconnect to my REPL. I ask what atom blocks is right now, or atom selected row call. 03. Okay, so I already have it. That's cool. Yeah, so I take the selected row and call. I go into Atom Blocks. I find the style information for that row and column, and I change it. Okay, so, right. We've got the function which will build a class string from our state, but we don't have a function which will change that state when we select a class from that drop-down menu. So that's the next thing I have to do. Okay. Right. Select. I've only got one select. All right. So first things first, we need an onChange. I think a select is different. HTML select. Still got sound. Yep. Still got sound. All right. Let's just have a add event listener, click. Maybe like an on change for HTML select. Yep, on change. Or is it on change? It is on change. Oh, it could be either on change camel case or on change kebab case. Alright, interesting thing to know. Function E, and that's going to be, what was this thing? E ./target./value. Missing a paren. Yep, there we go. And how about we just print that event first? Great, so we can get the selected value. That's great. All right, and next up we need the function. So, update style state. Set style state. Right, that's going to be a row, a call, and a value. All right. Row and a column and a value. Row, column, category. So we not only need to worry about what the new value is, but we need to worry about where that category is. So for instance, if we're setting font size, we should tell the function, okay, we're changing the key font size in this map, and we're changing it to this value. So find that value in the map, set it to true, set all the other stuff, and then false. Okay. So let's just make a little itty bitty comment block. Let's see, def test style. It's going to be a map. With that stuff in it. Except I got my braces and my parens all screwed up. Okay, I think that's all right. Great, test style. Yeah, so we know which object in the block we have because we have the row index. So yeah, we can work from the basis of this. Right. It's all good. So test style at 0. How about we add index 1. Let's simplify this a little bit so we're not getting so confused. True, text base false, text LG true. All right. Yeah, we'll call this false. We'll call this one true. Let's make these things the opposite of one another. All right. Cool. So we got the row, we got the call, we got the category. I guess if we're writing this from the basis of like, you know, we also need this function to find the right object. Then we can def test block. You can do it like that. I mean, hell, we can also call it an atom or atom. Bear with me as I make some crazy parenthesis changes and hope it all works out. Okay. Okay, so we're going to say like block window. Ooh, pane, then we're going to say style. Cool. Now we got a better representation of what this thing's doing. Okay. So test block is an atom, contains an array with blocks in them. The block name in this contrived example is window pane. Style is wrapped with one too many braces. One too many still. I should have probably just copied this whole thing, shouldn't I have? Well. And why copy it when I can just reference the real thing? Let's do it the closure way. Just a little bit committed by now. All right. Cool. All right, so we say add test block, add index of row, set style state with the test block. I want to pass that in as a destructured value, so I'm not going to be tempted to actually set anything inside that function. All right. Test block at row 0. Test block.call is not a function. because I'm not passing that anywhere, am I? Call category value, and maybe I just pass the state into there. Wrong number of args. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I just get the state back. Right. And let's write this as a thread operation to begin with. So I find I've been developing in the style where I'll kind of write like a crazy nested thing and have to refactor it to a threading macro after the fact. I think if I start from the basis of a threading macro, I can not only get more practice and just writing those period, which will be good for all the obvious reasons, but I won't have to do like the secondary work of refactoring it after the fact. Okay, so we get that, and then as states. I think I want to use as threading, so that's a little easier to work with. Okay, so we've got the state at the index. Step 1. Now we get a style property. So if we call that again, we should have just the style map. That's good. Now we need to get the call from that object. Should give us the style. Should give us the object that we're actually updating. And we get nil. Right. Need to call that as a variable. Okay, so now that comes in. Index 0. Update that function, call this function. Be mindful of your audience. Move the window up so they can see. Up, there we go. All right. Okay, so we can get that. We can say category of that object. Now our category is going to be font size. All right, once we've got that, I'm already thinking of a function that'll be way better to use. That'll be like get in. Stick with that for the time being, refactor later. Now that we've got our category, what do we say? We say, look in that object. I think the first thing we do is we set everything in that object to false. So, is that another map operation? I think it is. Map function kv. Let's put this in here so we don't lose track. All right. Let's let's key be kv0, val be kv1, then I'll return key false. Maybe we really want reduce KV. So I want to build a new map. I want to start from a map and I want to have a map back by the time I'm finished. Yeah, this is what I want. Swap keys and values in a map. It's pretty cool. All right. So if I wanted to start from that, but just turn everything into false. Key and value. So into the first argument, those two swapped. So this is going to be like a function. What are these things actually called? MKV, M is the map, so that's like the accumulator, key and value. What we want to do is return associating into the accumulator the key with false. Right. Cutting coffee. Need to let me know if you're rating after I stop so I can actually rate your channel. What's going on, Kevin? Need to let me know if you're rating after I stop so I can actually rate your channel. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting close to stopping now. I don't think I got a notification here. Going. Cutting coffee is live. Yeah, I guess I should let you know if I'm starting. Yeah, that'd be cool. I meant, should let me know if you're streaming after I stop so I can actually read your channel. There we go. Cool. Yeah. No, I'll send you a heads up. A false, B false, C false. Still streaming after you are. Okay. Yeah. Next time you're streaming, that'd be really nice. Thanks for joining, by the way. Hope your stream this afternoon went well. I quit at about 150 today, so yeah, I'm guessing it went extra well. Reduce KV. Yeah, are you working on your trading app or are you working on something else? Yeah, it was alright. Still angered at Alpaca Markets for ripping out the rug on their version 1 API. Alpaca Markets. Yeah, it really sucks when commission-free API for stock brokerage. This is interesting. API for stock trading. Oh yeah, this is exactly up your alley in terms of what you need. Simple modern API. API submit order. Man. Built for developers and traders. Commission-free API. Interesting. So I wonder how these guys make money. I wonder if it's like a Robinhood style thing. Had to do a ton of refactoring to make V2 work. Yeah. No, that's super annoying. Yeah, it'd be really nice if we could like aspire to the ideal of an API is forever, as they say. But in reality, this is like very often not the case. So you gotta go back and change a whole bunch of assumptions about how a certain API works when it changes, and that can involve some minor refactoring of your code, or as may have been the case with you this afternoon, some quite major refactoring of the code. So that's super annoying. Now they also charge $50 a month for real-time data. Oh man, which means TD Ameritrade is now better. Yeah, it's tricky, man. It's like you kind of rely on these things to, run your business, run your startup, and then all of a sudden the ground shifts up underneath from underneath you, and maybe if like the pricing changes or the API changes, or if some assumption you had built in is like not the case anymore. That could be your whole business right there. Anyway, good luck with your refactoring, man. That's a challenge for sure. Set style states. Value. Okay, so I think I've got this function mostly written. Alright, so I set everything to false, and now I'm going to set my revalue to true. Our thingy. Association. That's going to be value. Man, how does this work? Key nested value. So if you say like association, how does this API work? Sequence of keys. Okay, association object comes first, keys, and then the new value. So if I say like association key nested, and I say new value, do I get what I want? Nope. What was that error? I probably should have. Vector's key for association must be a number. Hey, hacker. Haha, more Lisp. Hello there. Yeah, more Lisp, man. Lisp is awesome. Oh wait, hold on. Do I have these backwards? Yeah, start with the map first. Is this right? Nested value. Right. Association. Key nested new value. Excellent. Great. So association that thing. I guess if I'm working with a flat object, I don't need association. So assoc in that object. Add that value true. Great. So I should get everything to false except the thing I want to toggle on, which is now going to be true. Alright, so foo is true, but really I want to set like text.lg to false, or text.lg to true rather. So if I say text.lg, I get true. Great. Now I just need to figure out how to associate that back in. Okay. Okay, so there's my new state object. Now I need to put that back in the state. So yeah, I think I just add another threading thing in here, right? So return is in state at the row number at style at the call number our new object. Yes, I think that's it. Yeah, let's try this. So now text large should be true. Row 0, column 0, except I specified that. Nope, I specified that wrong. Cool, text large, true. Text small, can I make you true? Text small, false. No, I can't. What? Associate in the state, row style, call. Yeah, so it's row, which gives us the object, style, column number. Oh, you know what? I didn't category. That's why I need category. Row style, call, category. There we go. Text SM true. Text XL true. If I got this, I got the whole thing. Excellent. Cool. Now we can set our state. Excellent. I may just finish this. Okay, set style state. Just real quick, let's do like a get in. Get in the thing, these keys. It's gonna be row, style, call, category. Right, now we can get rid of all that, and that gets a little easier to read. Great. Okay, that's all in a comment block, so I don't need to worry about it. Now I just add that as a function on my outside world. And I add it into my onChange. Alright. Now we just need to do the real thing. Set style state, atom blocks. Yeah, let's do like a let block here. Just to help us stop from getting twisted. Selected row, maybe cell row for short. Atom selected row call, that's going to be 0. Selected row, selected column, it's going to be the first index 1 in that tuple. Okay, whoa. Alright, here we go. So, selected row, it's going to need to be keyword, selected column. That's going to be font size for now, because we only have one hard-coded font size array. And it's going to be a keyword of the selected item. Alright. Dangerous assumption to make, but I think I just wrote it. So let's see if I can do it. Alright. Refresh. It loads, period, that's good. Toggle content editing. Test text. Here we go. Alright, content editing off, style editing on. Can we make the text larger? We cannot. Ah, right. Yeah, we changed the object, but we missed the step where we actually have to update the state, didn't we? Right. So, first things first, set the style. My god, that's a long function call, but that's okay. And then we reset atom blocks to the new value. And we move it outside those parens. And we put on a new line. And I think that's it. Oh, really wish my hot reloading wasn't broken, but I think we got it. Add text. Here we go. Did we do it? All right, content off, style on, edit style. Oop. Goodness gracious, every single stream. That GD @ symbol. Third time's a charm. Toggle content. Alright, no more cute text. Content off, style on, edit style. What? Reset add blocks. Ah, because I bet I passed that in the wrong spot as maybe if I just change that to a thread last, that'll solve my problems. There we go. Here we go. This is it. I swear. Content off, style on, edit style. Well, no error, but I thought I should have gotten it. Text base. Should be text 5XL. What do we have in states? Yeah, what if we like go back in here? Let's get rid of all this crazy stuff. Where's this comment block end? Ends right there. We just move this down below. Let's see. Def cell row is going to be 0. Def cell call is going to be 0. Def E is going to be yeah, that gets a little easier, a little harder to stub, doesn't it? Yeah, for now we're just going to say new class is going to be text 5XL. I'm going to call that with new class. Into the REPL you go. When we call the function, still got that text from before. XL, SM, LG. So it didn't make it in there, did it? XL, SM, LG. Yeah, what did I do wrong? So row, style, keyword call, category, font size. There's the states, the row, the column, the category, and the value. What's this? Get in atom blocks, cell row, cell call, font size. What do you give me? You give me nil. Okay, so when I did all that stuff, I think I broke my oh, you know, it's the get in. It's the get in. A nested associative structure. Yeah, I'm working with both vectors and maps. So can I even get in? Yeah. Get in. Style. What does that give me? 0. And like a keyword for the number 0. Text 5XL, true. What? Oh, I got this backwards. Keyword 0. What do you give me? Nil? Maybe you need to be a string. Yep, you need to be a string. Oh, API choices. API choices I've made. Keyword string selected call. Why not? Okay. It's okay. It's okay, man. Set style state. Nil. Row style call category. What is this? :0? Yep. So it should give me the object back. That does. Text 5XL, true. Alright, cool. So that's what I need to do. I needed to make my selected call number a string before I can turn it into a keyword. And after that, I do a reset on the state with a new value, and we're good. I bet if I refresh, here we go, one more time. I think this is it. All right, style, content editing off, style editing on. Hey, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, the buttons are kind of overlaying it, so, you know, that makes it a little look a little wonky. But if we turn the style editing off, hey, look at that. We can change it. And then if we add some more content, add text, we can do it in other places too. Big text, small text, don't matter. What's a funny emoji? Where's that one with the girl and she's like flicking her hair? Yeah, this one. Alright, content edit off, style edit on. Let's make you a little bit bigger. Hey, look at that. Cool. Excellent. Okay, guys, we, man, that's a big moment. We got, yeah, we did the thing I'm trying to do with this app, which is, yeah, have your content edited too. Give you an easy, simple UI for, you know, making these kind of changes. Give you the freedom to make those kind of changes in the first place. So that's really neat. Cool. Nice. All right. Well, let's update our notes. Done. We can classes for text sizing. Next up, every other utility class category for Tailwind. Excellent. So cool. Nice. Big moment. Real big moment. Yeah, now we're going places. Excellent. Cool. All right. Well, I'm going to call that the stream. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Yeah, I'll be back here tomorrow, 2 p.m. EST. I'll work till 5. Went a bit later today. It's like 5:30 already. But anyway, we're going to continue on this theme. So far, you might have noticed that style editing is only for my text size right now. But if we go to Tailwind CSS, we see that we have font families, font size, font smoothing, letter spacing, line height, all kinds of utility classes that this library offers you. So we are eventually going to probably not add like all of these, like every single one, but most of them. Yeah, so we'll have drop downs for all that. You'll have options to customize to your heart's content, and yeah. After that, the help will just write itself, because basically all we got to do is hook up the utility classes to their respective drop-downs, and yeah, I mean, after that the UI is probably done, because I've got all kinds of stuff I need to do on top of this in terms of, like, you know, having a user system, getting back to uploading images and rendering images that the user has uploaded instead of these, like, dummy images that I have in here right now. And to be fair, we're probably going to have a fair amount of work in terms of kind of finessing these things. But anyway, that all comes later. We've got a bunch of production work to go next time. So yeah, I will see you next time. Thanks for joining me, and catch you later. So see you guys.